It does. I don't know why.
Pulls on the chest
You're
hair.
like, why are you like this?
I also
Yeah.
have horrible sunburn, so that's.
Hey.
Yeah.
At least you got to go to the beach.
It was pretty nice. I got salt water in every orifices.
I mean, if you didn't get it in every orifice, would you have gone to the beach?
Not at all. Same goes for the sand.
Yeah.
Gotta get sand all up in you.
Oh my god. You have to have sand on you for the next week after the beach, or you can
Yeah,
go.
like to the point where, like, I mean, literally, I had so much sand like on my hands, like I went to wipe my nose and just like sliced my nose right here. You see that?
Damn. He really did. Um, no, man, I love, when I go to the beach, I love to just take my pants, just below my ass crack and just put my ass right in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
want to find sand for as long as possible
Oh,
because
yeah.
you'll feel like you're still there.
What I do is I lay down, like, on my back
Yeah.
in like the shallow water,
Yeah.
and I open up the back of my pants and I scoop up as much sand and shells from the bottom as I can.
You're just falling out like you're shitting yourself and everything. That's so funny.
Just scoop them all up, and it's a game. It's a fun game.
That's how you fuck a metal detector. You're just skimming. You're just using the net inside of your bathing suit as a skimmer.
Dude, I'm gonna find some gold.
Yeah.
Somebody's sunglasses, like a pair of Ray-Bans.
Oh, I got a $1.
I haven't seen a $1 in a long time going to the beach.
I hardly
think
even
they're all
know what that
dead.
is. And they're a living animal?
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
a mollusk or something.
Oh, I thought pirates
They're
just had
kind of
currency.
they're kind of like alive in the same way that like a starfish or a sponge is alive.
Okay, so they just sit there.
Yeah, but I guess more alive than like a plant because they can move.
Yeah.
Like when you find like in the living sand dollar, they have like all these little, like I guess legs, little hairs on the bottom.
Spines.
Yeah, spines, like a sea urchin. They're real teeny tiny,
Yeah.
like centipede legs.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I remember because we picked up a bunch of sand dollars on the beach when I was a kid, and we put them in a bucket and just like took them home and let them dry because that's what you're supposed to do. And then it was only later I found out that they were alive and then
And you killed
died
them.
because they stink like dead fish and dead
Oh,
ocean.
no.
Um,
I'm wondering
cool.
if there's something you can do to make them not stink.
I guess like probably shred the skin
Take their
off. Like
guts
what?
out.
Well, like I don't know, like scrape the bottom of them off so it's just the top part, which is like a shell, and then you decorate your walls with it.
Yeah, you just you actually scalp them and then.
Yeah, basically scalping. Have you ever noticed that like most people like decorate their bathrooms as like an ocean or like beach theme for whatever reason?
Yeah.
Like there will be sea turtles or like fish, or like the shower curtain will be like fish, or
Yeah.
something like that. And there's always like pictures of the beach.
Or an old timey scuba suit, like the one from SpongeBob.
Yeah, and like the soap dispenser will just be a fish.
Yeah.
And dumb
That's
shit
crazy,
like that.
man.
Like the hand towel will have a fish on it. It's like, I know there's water in here, and water is an inherent part of a bathroom, but it's just water. It's not the ocean. Like-
My parents' guest bathroom, like the one downstairs, looks like an Italian restaurant.
It does. It feels like Ragazzi's.
Shout out Ragazzi's and Garner.
Shout out Ragazzi's. Though I think for 4 years now the sign has been damaged, so I think it just says rags.
Regats. Rags.
Like with a
That's
Z.
That's so good.
I haven't been there since I was a kid.
I haven't been there in a while.
I mean, if I want Italian food, like, I'll go out of my way to go Olive Garden just because of the unlimited, breadsticks and
Yeah.
shit.
Ragazzi's
Quantity of
got
quality.
some good breadsticks.
They did. I remember as
You
a
ever
kid.
find yourself in Garner?
Yeah, man. Yo,
You know how many people find themselves in Garner?
yeah, I mean, lots of freaking Yankees do.
Yeah, right? Go home. Jesus.
They come down here and they invest in infrastructure and businesses. And
I've been seeing it more and
commerce.
more on Instagram, and maybe it's because I make those same incendiary statements, but I've been seeing, like, a lot of, like, when a North Carolinian hears a Northerner talking about moving down south, and they're like, and it's the where Jim from The Office. Where? And he goes, I think you know where. And I was so interested in the comment section, so I go, and it is literally just horrid infighting. And then it's Northerners calling people who live down here like bigots and like backwater trash. Like the top pinned comment was calling everyone from North Carolina backwater trash. It's like, it's not our fault you chose to live in Roxborough. I don't know what to tell you.
Like, I moved from Rhode Island, and I moved into. I'm trying to think of a good enough town.
I moved from Greenwich, Connecticut to
Goldsboro.
Garner.
No, I was thinking like something really bad, like Goldsboro.
Or like I moved from Greenwich, Connecticut to Benson, North Carolina, and they weren't the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like, what's a mule day?
Yeah, you might want to stay inside.
Try that in a small town.
Yeah, the guy, Jason Aldean knows everything about living in a small town.
He's coming here, right? It's like soon, I think.
I think so. I'm sure. Have you heard about his town that he's from? It has a population of 150,000.
And that's a real small town.
He's from Macon, Georgia.
But where I come from isn't even a town.
Yeah.
It's an unincorporated community of
Same.
like 4,000 people.
I'm from Garner, but I'm like actually from a place called the Cleveland Community. It's wild.
You don't have a town hall.
Like,
it's not a town. It's just a place.
The place I'm from has a chamber of commerce, 3 fire departments, and they're not a town. That's small. So you see, Scotty McCreery, had he made that song, then we'd be having a different discussion. Because he's from the same place,
Fair enough.
But some backwater bigot.
My brother went to high school with Scotty.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, he used to work at the
Lowe's right there. Yeah, we used to shop there. I don't think he worked there when we lived in that area.
We're doxing the fuck out of ourselves right now.
Are we?
Well, at least my parents. But yeah. So
yeah, they live.
So the address is.
So you go from that Lowe's and.
Yeah.
Step by step.
What you want to do is you take a right.
And that's where you'll find my Aunt Alice's house.
Yeah.
She leaves the back door unlocked.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, no.
I do have an Aunt Alice, but I don't know where she lives.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
She definitely doesn't live there.
But she does keep the back door unlocked, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? Like, you know how, like, there's, like, oh, well, violent crimes and, like, serial killers and, like, murders are, like, way down, even though there's way more people, and, like, it seems like it's easier to get, like, a gun and stuff. It's like, well, it's easier to catch them, so people are deterred from it.
Right.
But also, like, people actually lock their fucking doors now.
Yeah.
Like, people actually lock their doors, and, like, all kinds of other shit. Like, they don't hitchhike.
Yeah.
No one's hitchhiking anymore.
Yeah.
But it used to be, like, there was a serial killer that I was reading about. I can't remember his name, but he would just go up to houses, and, like, if the door was unlocked, he was like, all right. If it was locked, he would just leave. Like, all right, cool. Like, he would find one within, like, 5 houses, and, like, now you're getting murdered.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with, like, someone who wants to murder or have, like, control over someone in that type of situation, they're going to be, like, they're going to have more of a propensity to be like, well, I want to have full control of the situation, so I'm going to come in on somebody who's got their door unlocked, they're not expecting it,
right.
And just attack them. And then, if you're breaking into someone's house to murder them, you're causing a lot of distress just to do something you're probably going to get caught for anyways.
Right.
So, yeah.
I feel like it's mainly just the fact that, like, the smallest level of deterrent is enough to deter 90% of people from doing something that they were wanting to do. Like,
I saw a video the other day of that where basically these 2 guys walk up and they're like looking to rob a store, and they throw a rock at the window and it doesn't break, and they just quick turn like in a comedy set. Like, it was literally like comedy. They just like whoop and turned around and walked away. It was so funny. It just disappeared. But what were you saying?
Well, I was going to give an example, but that's a pretty good one right there. But yeah, basically that is like, or someone wants to steal a bike, but you just put like a flimsy bike lock on it. If it takes them, like, they can't figure it out within like 20 seconds, they've already wasted too much time and like are that much closer to getting caught. So like, all right, fuck this. I'm not stealing this bike.
Yeah.
But if you put no lock on your bike, or like, you just like leave your doors wide open, and, like, Yeah. You gotta expect someone's gonna like be
Yeah.
tempted by that because most people are just tempted because it's like, oh, this seems like easy and I can totally get away with it.
Yeah. I made that mistake over here. Someone stole my wallet over here the other, like, June. Yeah.
Oh.
My car door was open somehow,
Oh
and
yeah.
my wallet was in there, and they jacked my whole thing. And they, like, went through my entire car. I don't have anything in my car.
Yeah, I don't keep anything valuable in my
But
car typically
obviously my
anyway.
wallet was in there, but, you know.
That's some shit.
Yeah, it'll be alright, though. The only thing I'm mad at now is the fucking DMV. Everybody else got me my cards except for the fucking DMV. I ordered that a month and a half ago. I called them yesterday about this,
You've just
actually.
been riding around with no license?
So they give you this paper when you buy the replacement, and it says you're allowed to drive. You just need to give this paper if something happens. So that expires on Monday.
Oh,
so I'm like,
what's up?
it actually, legally speaking, if anyone's watching this, it doesn't expire on Monday. In case I don't get my license,
Fucking get him!
Yeah, it's I'm actually driving legally. But no, so I call and I'm like, hey, I don't have my replacement license. This is kind of, at a point where I'm gonna start to get in trouble for it. And they're like, well, it looks like we sent it, and it looks like it wasn't received. And I was like,
that would be a problem. Yeah, that would be what we were talking about.
Yeah, that would be what I have put in front of you as the situation. But thank you for confirming it through your computer. And I was like, so can we fix this? Because it kind of just went silent. And they gave me nothing. They're like, well, the DMV closes at 5, and then we got extended hours on Saturday.
Like, well, you could just go look for it.
Yeah. Have you looked for it?
Have you looked around for it? Like, I looked in the mailbox, but if you looked around, like, maybe you left it somewhere. I was like, no, you're not.
You're supposed to send it into my mailbox.
Like, were you sure you didn't, just forget? Well,
that's a good point. I mean,
it'd be really funny if I just forgot about it, but then remembered to call you guys to get it.
Right. It's like, hey, I got my ID, but I never got my ID. What's wrong with that? Yeah, it felt very infuriating. It's like, so what is your job exactly? It is basically, their job is talk to them until they give up and feel hopeless.
Which DMV did you go to? Just
I've been to like a bunch of DMVs over the past few days. Yeah, no, I went to the DMV. It's like right over there, and on Saturday, and that was insanity. It was literally down the whole strip and around the corner, and I was like, yeah.
I go to the one in Andrew. It's right across the street from my grandma's house. Her name is
Nana.
I actually don't know her real name. She's
funny.
just Grandma.
That's so funny.
I actually do. I know her name. I don't know my great grandma's name.
My great grandma went by like
Georgina.
4 names. Yeah.
Josephine.
My that is a funny thing where you don't like learn your grandparents' first name. Like, I feel like you learn your parents' first name pretty quickly, but you don't learn your grandparents' first name.
Man,
unless you really are trying.
I was on some different shit, but like as a child, I don't think I even called my brother by his first name until I was like 5.
You're just like, brother?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I was like, brother.
Oh, brother. Where art thou?
And then one day, he was just like, I think I was literally 5, and he was like, hey, stop calling me that. I'm like, calling you what? He's like, brother. He's like, but you're my brother. He's like, my name is Chris. I'm like, okay. He just got tired of it. He just got real sick of it.
Yeah, I guess you could see, I could see how that would be a thing where, like,
meanwhile,
when your parents talk to you, they're like, go talk to your brother. They're not like, go talk to Chris.
But like, meanwhile, I've been called Boo-Boo by most of my family for my entire life.
Boo-Boo?
Yeah, they just never stop. It's Boo-Boo.
You should be like, hey, my name's Trevor.
It's like, we didn't grow up in the ghetto. Why do I have that nickname? Like, we just grew up, like, pretty normal white family. Why did I get that nickname? No one else got a nickname.
Boo-boo.
Like, that's, like, a different cultural thing. It's, like, just everyone gets a nickname. I didn't fucking get... Like, why did I get singled out?
My mom always called me Jonesy when I was a kid. She called me out after Indiana Jones.
At least that, like, we didn't watch fucking, what's it called? Yogi Bear. That's the only boo-boo I can think
boo-boo. Oh, man. Yeah, it's so funny.
And no one ever made that joke to me in my whole life.
That's weird.
It's just out of nowhere. I say boo-boo. It's fucking awful.
Wow.
When your niece who is 8 thinks it's hilarious. It's like, Uncle Boo-Boo. I'm like, what's my actual name?
My aunt's name.
They don't fucking know.
My aunt's name is Christy, and my sister, when she was a kid, had a bit of a speech impediment, and she couldn't say Christy. She'd call her Titty, and so that's what we called her. For, like, even when I was born and, like, everything, she was Titty. Yeah.
I knew a kid in my neighborhood growing up who just called his sister Sissy until he was, like, 13. And I was like, that's gotta be the most annoying fucking thing in the world.
That's wild. I think I may have done that with my sister when I was a baby.
Yeah, I mean, my little sister called me brubber because she couldn't say brother. Yo, brubber.
Hey, yo, brubber.
Brubber. Brubber. Until she was probably like 7. And she couldn't do her R's work. She was like, Bobo. Bobo.
My little sister called me home dog growing up. No, I don't. Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't know. People are weird with how they get nicknames.
I mean, my name is already spelled fucking weird, so there's that.
Yeah, a girl I used to date would call me Bestie. Bestie. I was like, how did this happen?
I don't like that.
Yeah, for 6 months you're dating someone and you still get Bestie. Yeah, that was a lot.
That don't sit right with me.
Yeah, we're just gonna give it a moment of silence. But
do you remember that guy from our high school who I won't name? Who was dating a girl from our high school who I also won't name?
Yeah.
But the story was that he requested her to call him Papi because she was Mexican. And if you're watching right now, I'm sure you both know who you are. And I just want to say, I'm not close with either of you, but I feel really bad for this unnamed woman.
And man.
To be culturally appropriated and just like ask this weird burby thing all in one. Man.
Shout out that guy.
What's the word for you just got like intersectionally fucking like attacked.
Yeah.
He attacked both of your identities.
Man. So crazy. Poppy.
Like not even just like during sex though. Like just as a nickname all the time. Like just like instead of saying hey baby, like good morning baby, like good morning Poppy.
Hey, good morning Poppy. You know, 'cause you're Mexican.
What do you want for lunch, Poppy?
God.
Like fucking kill myself. That's so much worse than Daddy. Also.
Yeah.
'Cause like it's just
there's a WWE storyline with Rey Mysterio's son, and he like turned on his dad after getting a goth girlfriend, and like he's acting like an absolute shitnose. Like he'll hide behind her, and like and she's like massive. Her name's Rhea Ripley. She is massive. She's like the craziest delts, and
picks him up and uses him as a weapon.
Sometimes, yeah, like he'll jump into her arms. Yeah, he sells it really well, but
it's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, they call him a Dirty Dom now, and it's the funniest shit. He like they'll paint a little tear under his eye with eyeliner. It's kind of fucked up.
It's funny, but isn't that the name of the guy from David Dobrik's videos?
Yeah.
They're like, well, he's gone now.
But he spelled it Durte.
Okay.
So they just spell it normal, like dirty. I mean, they have Logan Paul on their roster, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Fucking
stooping down
Logan
Dirty
Paul's
Dom
next
levels.
WWE match. It's like
Well,
he comes out and it
the
turns
company's
dark, and then
owned
there's
by
just a
Vince.
guy drops from the fucking ceiling like.
And then they kept going. They kept going after Owen Hart died. They had another match after that.
So
The show must go on. Fucking insane. And I was gonna say, you know, Dirty Dom could never equate to anything Vince McMahon did. So, honestly, they would bring in Dirty Dom and be like, "You're a wrestler."
I
now."
think just what Vince McMahon did to his face,
Yeah, sure.
kind of beats. I mean,
This man just had back surgery at 77 because he decided he wanted to be a wrestler at 50.
I don't know.
That's too much money to know what to do with.
I would buy like a fucking boat.
Yeah,
Like the kind that's so big you can land a helicopter on it.
Like, why is he so?
I wouldn't have a helicopter, but that space would be used for like a tennis court or something.
Yeah.
Shuffleboard.
Yeah, like
Fuck a helicopter.
something that
Honestly.
can't make me have back surgery at 77.
No,
8-hour back surgery at 77 years old. Tight.
I mean, at 77, dude, if they're like, hey, if you don't do this, the quality of life is going to go way down, and it's like a 50-50 chance of if it works. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I mean, all right, I'll just...
Do you have a gun?
Yeah, just like, you got that anesthesia ready, just like double it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Can you actually just press the gun to the nape of my skull and pull the trigger?
I'm going to take this razor blade, and my femoral artery is right here. Even though I'm in a hospital, I would probably bleed out before you could stop it. So if you guys could just not stop me.
I'm going to cut it the long ways. For results.
If you get results. No, I just like 77. I'm not fucking like. I'm not just gonna like the idea that you would spend a bunch of time in a hospital to maybe have a decent like 5 last years.
Yeah.
Like I might as well just die now.
For real. I don't like what else do you have?
How much fun am I gonna have over these 5 years with my 77 to 82-year-old body?
Yeah, and it's like
It's only gonna get worse.
you know the only thing that he's gonna be doing too is running the company. He's not gonna be like spending time with his family now.
I mean, he'll probably just do cocaine.
Not that his kids even like him, but
I mean, yeah, they would love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, we just would want more time with Dad. If I could have anything in the world, it'd be more time with Dad.
I would say Vince McMahon is like number one on the list of people I would name as like someone who probably takes blood transfusions from like young people.
If that is a real thing, he does it.
Yeah.
Like
the villain from superhero movie.
It's so fucking. I watched that right before. Like I finished it 30 minutes before I left to come over here.
That's so
It's
good.
free on YouTube with ads. Go check it out
It's
after
so
this.
funny.
They're so stupid.
I mean, it's Drake Bell, so you gotta, you know.
Well, he's mostly
hate
getting
watch
shit
it.
on the whole
Yeah,
movie. That's
you
the
just-
fun part.
There you go. That's how you justify it.
It's so fucking funny.
It's so funny. The fucking 10-time backhand spring into him shoving his cock in his face.
The part where the villain like accidentally, I don't know if it was an accident on purpose, but he kills that like secretary lady in the office. And he's like, I gotta hide the body, and he's just like trying to shove her into a locker. And he's just like bang, and the janitor comes in and sees it. Okay, I leave, and he just. Like, that's the guy fucking a corpse, and you're just cool. Like, she was clearly dead because he absorbed her life force, so she's all, like, old and, like, bald-headed.
Wrinkled, lifeless corpse. Man.
That movie was, I mean, I forgot how short it was, but
Yeah.
I was like, this is still pretty funny. Like, some of these jokes are great. Mainly Leslie Nielsen. He's good in everything.
About Leslie Nielsen.
Scary Movie 4 is also on there. And I forgot that Kevin Hart was in Superhero Movie as like the friend.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's a missed chance they never made a joke about how he looked 40.
He did look pretty old.
And like he had his whole bit at the beginning, like on the bus, where he's just like got all like I guess at the time like iPhone and iPod were like super big, and it was just like their idea was like it'd be funny because like everyone's so obsessed with these iPods. Well, what if like every product was made by Apple and it was just iDrink, which is just like an iPod shaped juice box with a straw in it, and he's got like 2 Bluetooth earpieces in, and like a fucking like iPad and laptop and like all this stupid shit, like a fucking an eye like nose pick. He trims his hair, so I'm like, this really didn't age that well, because Apple still only makes like 5 products.
Yeah. Yeah.
They never really like that was never the goal of Apple at all.
Yeah. Apple has always been like, we're going to make the best version of things that we make, and that's it. Even going to like Apple TV Plus now, they're like, we're just going to make good TV. We're not really gonna like. Well, that's the attempt. You know, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just make good TV.
Fucking people will not stop talking about Ted Lasso. So
yeah, I was on a date last night and I had to fork up my Apple TV Plus so that my date can watch Apple and watch Ted Lasso.
Did you remove the device afterwards? Or
yeah, of course.
Or do you think things are going well? You think you might as well leave it?
Well, you got to keep it in good graces, and you never know.
Leave it there for a couple weeks, and then when she's like halfway through, just like be like.
Yeah, if she starts having misgivings, I'll just pull the plug.
Yo. So no head.
Click. Click. Oh man. What time is it? Let's go ahead and do a break.
Time to
we'll be right back.
We're on a Papadilla break.
Yeah, I was gonna try and do some type of wordplay with Papadilla, but I can't think of it. So just enjoy the break. No one asked.
Maddie fucking smokes.
Fuck D'Angelo Bailey. Everyone's been asking what our opinions on the Trump indictment is. Everybody in the comments, the thousands of comments we got.
Oh, well, I don't read comments, you know.
Oh,
it all became too much after the first 2 episodes of this podcast.
Yeah,
just the flood of like,
I can't
you
read
know,
the comments anymore. They're
the
all about
flood of
Papadillas.
positivity is great, but just for every 10 nice comments, there's the one bad one that just really drags you down.
That's fair. Well, I didn't read the comments. I just made our lowly producers do it.
And I saw someone call me a cock gobbler, and I was like, well, that ruined my day.
What I thought was going to be a good day is now ruined. So,
like, it's one thing to do something in private and be ashamed of it, but to have someone call you out on it publicly, it's just like, all right, I didn't do anything.
I just
didn't do anything wrong, you know?
Yeah, just trying to live my life, but
fucking was hungry.
All we do is get comments about Papadillas, though. That's most of it.
And I'm never gonna eat one.
Those shits are disgusting. No.
No, not because I think it's disgusting. I think it would be so good that it would ruin all other food for me.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't eat it because they're not going to be around forever. So if I gave in and
you were gonna get attached to it, and
it would be gone.
Like, and then withdrawal.
Like the McRib or the Shamrock Shake.
Or the Grimace Shake.
Is Grimace is he all there?
It's like Adam West in Family Guy. Like when Cleveland does the psychoanalysis on him, and he's like, I think you're very aware of what you're doing, and I think you're actually a danger to society. That's how I feel about Grimace. I think he is fully aware.
Was he a bad guy? Like, was he friends with the Hamburglar?
I was going to ask, what is that name?
Grimace.
Grimace. That's like that's a facial expression, but he's smiling.
And he looks like he reminds me of like what's the Mudman from like Batman? What's it called?
Fuck. Why did you have to ask me that right now?
Like concrete something mud guy.
Clayface.
Clayface. He reminds me kind of Clayface.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Clayface because that sounds dumb, and I was like, no, that's Batman.
That is, yeah, that's Batman.
He's a joker. This guy tells riddles, so he's the Riddler. This girl's a Catwoman. So her name is Catwoman.
Penguin.
He's a fat guy who looks like a penguin.
He waddles because he is big. Penguin. And he's short.
This girl Poison Ivy. She knows how to use Poison Ivy.
Do you remember the Tim Burton characterization of the penguin?
Yeah.
The Danny DeVito one who like ate cats.
He's just a low life.
He was kept in like a kennel as a baby, and they
Yeah.
ate cats, and they threw him in a box floating down a river.
Yeah.
And that's how he ended up in the sewers. And I was like, that's literally Pennywise. And when you look at when that movie came out and when the It movie with like Tim Curry came out, it's like it's kind of just some cross-referencing going on there.
Yeah, and I think you can. It's even more of a thing with like. You remember when Hateful Eight came out, like right after the Magnificent Seven came
A
out?
far worse movie.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, these ideas get heard in a Hollywood sphere, and they just like kind of spread out, and it's like, oh, that's gonna be big, and so they try to like copy each other.
Yeah, like I'm trying to come up with examples now, but I feel like there was a period where there was just like a bunch of movies about snow dogs and like dog sledding in the Arctic.
There's a lot of movies about slavery in the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
12 Years a Slave, followed by Django, followed by, or maybe it was Django and then 12 Years a Slave.
They were pretty close.
But that's what I mean. Like they get like a thing, like, oh, Tarantino's making a slave movie. Looks like we got to get in on that. Because that's going to be striking the iron while it's hot.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be prevalent in people's heads.
Oh, came out, was it Mummy and Tomb Raider coming out around the same time?
I think so.
Or Mummy and, like, the Scorpion
Well, there's a Mummy and a Tomb Raider
there's also
coming
the
out every
Scorpion
year.
King.
Yeah.
All the zombie shit happened at, like, the same time. Like, you had World War Z, you had the fucking, what's it called? Something shitty. I don't remember it because it was shitty. Not because I didn't prepare or think about it that hard. And not that I didn't have a point to make. But we can just move on.
I like those Tomb Raider movies with Alicia Vikander. They don't get enough credit.
I liked fucking Resident Evil.
Yeah, yeah.
The first couple of those are actually good with what's her name? Was it Mila Jovovich?
I think so.
Because she was also in the Underworld movies, like the Vampire versus Werewolves. That shit was way cooler than Twilight, and they were doing it first. Those movies were badass.
Yeah.
It was like a whole alternate world with like just huge armies of vampires and werewolves fighting. And then there's like Mila Jovovich with the leather cat suit and 2 guns and a sword. And it's like, I don't know where she got guns because all these other people are living in like medieval times. All the werewolf people are just like muddy and half naked and just like hairy.
Yeah.
And the vampires are all like super pale and like tall and got the angular faces.
I had the same thought.
And they're all fucking all the time.
I had the same thought when I saw the Mad Max Fury Road, like the guy who plays the guitar and he has like no eyes. I'm like, why do you have flames on the end of his guitar if everyone's rationing gasoline? Like, gasoline is such a rarity now.
Maybe it's butane.
Could be. It's just like,
it's just
we're post-apocalyptic and we're mining for butane. Like,
maybe just find a bunch of old, what's it called, Zippos.
Are we passing on the processes of making butane down to this post-apocalyptic society? I just have a lot of questions.
Well, I hope that we pass down how to do propane. Because
propane accessories.
Yeah, propane is very important.
I will say that I tried to watch Archer. I got in past the first season. It is too much sexual innuendo for me. For my personal take, for my personal liking, it's just like
considering
everything.
One of the running jokes of that series is phrasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole first season.
I think it does tone down a bit on that. The second season, honestly, like it kind of went from first season, I liked it a lot. Then the second season, I didn't like the first half of it.
Okay.
And then I'd say season 3 and 4 are like the best the show ever is.
Okay.
I think. And then there's like some ups and downs in the rest of the show. I mean, I don't know how it's still going.
Yeah.
There's like several seasons that are all like gimmicky seasons that take place in like
Miami Vice and
well, the Vice one is actually the last one that I really liked.
Okay.
It's a big departure from the formula of the rest of the show, but if you're not that attached to it from the get-go, then like it's kind of cool.
Okay. I'll have to give it a chance again because I started watching the second season.
I just love all the voice actors. Like Chris Parnell is so fucking funny.
His character is confusing to me.
He is kind of back and forth, but like he's kind of like the Jerry.
Yeah.
He's definitely
he's the Jerry, but he's fucking Lana. And then he cheats on Lana. Sorry to spoil it if you've never seen Archer, but
I've seen the second season that aired in 2011.
Yeah, I'm sorry to have spoiled that for you, but like Yeah, I don't know. I was like, what?
I
Doesn't even make logical
when
sense.
talking about animated shows to watch, I would put King of the Hill far
So
above
that's where I was gonna
Quality of
go.
Archer. Yeah.
I had moved on, and I love King of the Hill.
It's so fucking
It's so
good.
fucking
It's so
funny.
smart. Like, I love Mike Judge because like fucking Idiocracy, one of my favorite movies, and then I do like the older Beavis and Butthead a little bit. But King of the Hill is just such a masterpiece of a cartoon.
It's so good. If you're not from the South, I don't know that you would like it. Or if you're not from a rural area, I guess is a better way of saying that.
Possibly, yeah. But if you spent any amount of time
Around them, or if you
like,
just like laughing at dumb Southerners.
yeah, I feel like you would get it. But it's also like it's literally based on his experience, like living in like a pretty much just like suburban, like small Texas town.
Yeah.
And like like all the characters are based on like his neighbors.
I can tell Boomhauer is real. My dad has a friend that reminds me of Boomhauer, and I was making a joke to him last night. He didn't find it very funny.
My uncle is basically Boomhauer.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man.
I don't know a damn word he says.
Come on, man. I just can't. It
You know,
makes me
like,
laugh.
all
so
the characters in that show are so real, and like the celebrity guest episodes and like the random celebrities that like voice characters in that show are fucking amazing.
I forgot who
like
came by.
Tom Petty.
Oh, it was
Brittany Murphy.
Shit in the first. Yeah, well, she's Luann, isn't she?
Yeah, she's Luann.
Yeah. So, but fuck, who was in it? Was Johnny Cash? Was in the first? No, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson was in the first season, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I guess he was paying taxes back. So.
They've had Willie Nelson.
That was like right when he was having to pay back all this taxes.
Tom Petty became a recurring character. Like,
oh wow!
Like he's in a lot of the show.
That's so...
Yeah, I think he plays a guy named Lucky. His whole thing is
his dad is hilarious in the show.
That's one of my favorite characters. Oh, Cotton. I killed 50 men. Took my knees.
No knees.
Shot my knees off. So he just reattached where his knees were to his fucking ankle.
He's got just thighs. He ain't got no shins.
Love it. It's like that would so not work.
I don't have any shins.
I just think it's so fucking like he's one of my favorite characters, and his weird bond with Bobby, even though he fucking hates Hank.
Yeah,
that's one of the most wholesome parts of the show for me. I
just saw I think Lady yesterday Bird. I watched the Lady Bird.
I love Lady Bird.
I just saw the episode yesterday where Hank was trying to like overcome his fear of shooting, and Bobby like loved shooting.
He's like fucking amazing.
Yeah, but he has so much PTSD from Cotton. Hank has so much PTSD from Cotton like being a dickhead to him about shooting that he like doesn't think he can win the tournament, and then they don't.
Yeah, they come like shows up. Place.
Cotton shows up, and they're like they can't. He can't perform anymore.
Honestly, like that's the show that I really don't think I want like brought back. I know there's been a lot of talk about it, but like
don't do that.
I feel like not having Luann and Lucky and like I think a few other. I mean, like they kill Cotton off at some point. I think.
Got to.
No. It might be Hank's mom. She's not as important a character. One of his parents dies at some point in the show, and like I don't know. There's just a lot of characters. I think there's a couple of voice actors that have also died. But also, how are you gonna get all the writers that made the show amazing back, and like all the people that made the show so good for so long? Like you're not gonna get them back. So there's not really any point in trying and just ruining it. Because like I don't care at all for the new Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, like, it's far and away from what it was.
It was funny at the time, and like the stuff that I liked is still somewhat funny to me now because I watched it back then. Yeah. Not because it actually really, really still is. Like, I wouldn't say the Beavis and Butthead stood the test of time. King of the Hill, I definitely think has, because I've watched it at so many different stages and loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm watching it now almost 20 years later, and it's
a lot of
almost 30 years later.
It's still pretty damn relevant.
The first season is 26 years old. I've just thought about that.
That's crazy. It is older than us.
But yeah, I've enjoyed that. Speaking of TV, let's get to some bad TV. I finished Secret Invasion.
Oh, you actually bothered to do that?
I did that.
I did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just say they set up a lot of stuff. Like it's going to be something that if you want to have full context, you will probably have to at least read the show notes. Performing like the watching out of this show, I wish I hadn't done it. That last episode is a doozy.
Really?
It is
I mean, I know sort
doozy.
of what happened. Like, I don't know like every single small thing in the show, but I know the major plot points.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can spoil it for me, and since when do we fucking care about you guys?
So, basically, just gonna long story short it. Skrull guy wants power.
Mm-hmm.
Goes, looks for power, finds a lot of power.
Okay.
We can become Super Skrulls.
Okay, the Super Skrulls are the ones that they can transform in people and have their powers.
That means that they can walk around like Skrull. That means they have all of the powers.
Oh.
So it means they can like switch powers and stuff. They have. So what he's looking for, Benedict Kingsley's character, who is the leader of the Skrulls now, after having pushed Talos out.
What a weird skin to choose to always stay as, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's who you would choose? I would choose, like, Brock Lesnar. And that would be my human body.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting to choose, like, the most physically non-imposing person.
Like how the High Evolutionary could have just changed his face and everything about him, and he just put his old face back over it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so he finds a way that he can become a Super Skrull. And the way that they do this, apparently Nick Fury went through with a team of people after the Battle of Earth from Endgame, and they were just scraping DNA off the ground, and so they cultivated.
That's how that works, huh?
Yeah, right. They cultivated all the. I mean, they could have taken it from dead people or like blood that's just kind of like sitting out. Anyway,
yeah,
it's stupidly convoluted.
Well, I just think about all the things that would just like wipe DNA from that battle, like all the lasers and all
fire,
like the raining fire that Thanos called. This huge ship that crashed and flooded the entire... Like, as soon as Doctor Strange let go of that thing, you know it all flooded, right?
Right.
Like, the water was coming towards where they were fighting.
Who's to say these alien ships aren't running on, like, nuclear
fission?
Like
Tony's is still dying, and everyone's, like, over there, like, handling him, and Strange is just like, when can I let this go? This huge wave of water, like, any second, you know? Did you do it?
Are we done?
I can't see. I can't turn around. What's going on? He's just still doing it. Everyone left. No one told him. Yeah. And that's when fucking Skrull Rhodey's back there collecting DNA, just like doo.
So the way that they explain it is that one of the guys that was that hair in my mouth. One of the guys still in my hair. Yeah, it's still on my head. But
is that a dig at me, bro?
No. Whoa, no. I was just saying it's still attached to my head. Normally when I get hair in my mouth, it's like come off my head at that point.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So the Super Skrull guy was picked to be in the group of people because Fury has a like soft spot for Skrulls. So he was using Skrulls to do this secret mission that he wasn't supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so that's how, I don't remember his name, but Benedict Kingsley's character is in the sphere, and that's how he knows that they have
the DNA of like every superhero.
Yeah, and they call it the Harvest.
What a MacGuffin.
Right. So Nick Fury's idea is, well, fuck it. I'm going to give him the Harvest. It sets up then that Emilia Clarke's character pretends to be Nick Fury, goes into the little area where he has that big-ass machine that he can use to make them Super Skrulls, and gives him the vial of the thing. And unknowingly, he turns the both of them into Super Skrulls. And they have a massive fight, because it's in a Marvel movie or show. They have a massive fight at the end, and the Benedict Kingsley dies. So
She-Hulk finale was right.
yeah,
That's just how every show's gonna end.
yeah. And you know what? I honestly don't blame people for being upset at this. Like, genuinely.
It was the one show that seemed to be promising to be tonally different and just, like, actually important.
Yeah.
And all these other stuff, and it was none of those things, really?
The thing is...
All it did was, like, upset some people with, like, the possible retcon of Rhodey being a Skrull for, like...
years.
God knows how long.
Yeah, and they do sell that in the very end. Like, Rhodey's having trouble walking. Now, I know he's got spinal issues, but... I don't know. I didn't see the big apparatus that Rhodey wore. So I'm wondering if the Skrull that had taken him over was the one that sustained a back injury and not Rhodey himself.
That would be something.
Because he was just having trouble walking, like his legs were weak.
I mean, I still don't really care about Rhodey.
No, fuck him. I don't care at all. But this does make an interesting setup for Armor Wars, where now Armor Wars looks like it's going to be... Do the Skrulls have Tony Stark's tech? Which is just great that we get another show or any Marvel property that
is it going to be a movie now?
I don't think so. I think it's a show.
I forgot if it was supposed to be a movie then it became a show. Or was it
Ironheart was in Black Panther.
Right.
So maybe.
I need to watch that.
She was good in the movie. I think she seems like a good TV actor. I make the distinction on purpose. But yeah,
Scrubs.
She's fine.
Stay in your lane.
You know, yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. Apparently, since I guess we're on about Marvel, they're looking to cast a quote overweight white guy for the Thing. Yeah. So,
dude,
a lot of people are clamoring for Seth Rogen to be the Thing.
I mean, I guess their thought process is like
Josh Gad.
We can get some inclusion points.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to be a CGI rock man for most of it anyway, so it doesn't matter if he's fat.
Yeah. But also people are saying maybe Josh Gad. I could see Jonah Hill playing a really self-important Thing. I'm sure that would kill his self-confidence, though. He's made such a concerted effort to not be known as the fat guy.
I think I would hate it. I don't know if I would like him as the Thing.
Oh, no, I would hate it, too. I had a thought. If he wasn't 70 years old, Stephen Root.
Is John Goodman still alive?
Like I said, if he wasn't 70 years old, I think it might...
I think that would be pretty dope.
It would be. No, I don't disagree with you. No, I agree.
So,
but, like Gordo, Stephen Root from Dodgeball.
Yeah.
You gotta get angry. You gotta get mean.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
And he also played the radio tower guy in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He was great. The blind radio.
He looks just like the Doc Ock in the Spider-Man game.
That's true.
He looks just like him.
You're right about that.
And he got mean and he got angry.
Dude, I wanted one of the guys who shows up in Quantum Mania. The guy who can read minds. You saw Quantum Mania, right?
Yeah.
The guy who can read minds.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him as fucking. He's also in Good Place.
Yeah, he's really good in that show.
I wanted him to play the leader of the Fantastic Four. What's his name? The stretchy guy.
Reed Richards?
Yes, I wanted him to be Reed Richards because
that would be pretty sick.
Since they have Jonathan Majors as Kang, and Kang is related to Reed Richards, like he's Reed Richards
or whatever.
Kang is one of his descendants, Reed Richards' descendants.
That would be pretty cool.
So, but they already have had him in the MCU as that guy, so I don't. It's not stopped them before. Gemma Chan has played two different characters, but
they should bring back Chris Evans as Johnny Storm and just not say anything about it.
Not say anything, yeah. That'd be
or
great.
Michael B. Jordan, give him another shot at it.
You know what? I'm sure that Jacob Elordi, the kid who plays Nate in Euphoria, I'm sure he's gonna be the Torch.
Do you think they're gonna try to veer much younger for the 4?
Probably, I
Because they've
think.
always been portrayed as like pretty much like
I think we're gonna see how they
middle
become.
age, like well not middle age I guess, but like early 30s I
I
would
think
say.
we're gonna see their origin because I don't remember their origin, and I think every movie
All
series
I
has
remember
been.
is them being on a ship in space and something happens and then they come back with powers.
Yeah.
That's all I
The
remember.
thing about the Fantastic Four is it's much closer to Guardians of the Galaxy than people try to realize, but it's been made out to be so serious. But those like early Stan Lee comics, the ones that made
Silver
it like
Age.
the ones that made it like great in the first place were super colorful. They were like super wacky. Had like new villains every single thing. They introduced Spider-Man.
There was the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, right.
That's a weird motherfucker.
It's a wacky guy.
Zany.
Damn, I almost wore a Silver Surfer
villain
t-shirt.
Is fucking Doctor Doom, and it's not that he came up with that stupid name himself. His actual name is Victor Von Doom, and he's a doctor. So that's just what people called him before.
It's just his name.
Hey, Doctor Doom.
The doctor will see you now.
Just imagine going for an interview with him. You sit down on the nameplate, it's just like Doctor Doom. Like, is that?
My dad had a dentist named
funny
Dr.
joke.
Payne.
Dr. Payne. Well, I'm assuming like Payne or Pane.
Yeah, it was Payne. That's still a great irony. The NC State football team used to have a kicker, a place kicker named Kiker. It's not even a joke. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Anyway.
Kiker, I hardly know her.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but that's enough about Marvel. We got like 5 minutes to go.
Well, I mean, anything piss you off this week? Should rant about?
Yeah. Probably shouldn't rant about it on the podcast though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I
finally got.
I think since our last episode, I don't know. I think the last episode came out the day after my birthday, so I'm 23 now.
I believe so.
We went bowling.
Yeah. Bowling.
That was fun. I actually went bowling with
Only 2 people were good at it.
I went bowling again last night with my date.
Did you go to Bolero again?
No, I went to one in Clayton.
Oh, the one near my house?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We went to this place after called Vincent's.
I've been there a lot. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. That place is pretty nice.
It.
If you're ever in
good ass
the area, yeah, they do some good, like the pretzel stick. They
have a lottery machine inside the bar.
They do have a Keno in there. If you're ever out that way again, go to, it's usually a wait, like most nights, because they're always busy, but Manning's.
Okay.
Manning's is good.
They live out that way, so I will more than likely be out there more often.
Nice.
So
what's your name? Continue. First name, last name, address?
Not right now. Not right now. But
phone number.
It is 919. No.
It's actually 984. They don't give out 919s anymore.
No, she's as they say in New Zealand, she's FTA. She's from the area, so.
Wow.
Yeah. Or they say that in Tonga. I'm sorry.
Tonga?
My bad. Sorry to any Tongans watching this.
Dude, that's like the majority of our viewers.
That's like being like, sorry to any Byzantinians.
Yeah. I've been paying for, a specifically Byzantine digital marketing campaign for like a month or 2 now.
We need to get the ancient Rome has great HR. Like they have a great HR team.
I mean, there's a big untapped market in Constantinople.
But I will say, I mean, like I don't hear a lot about Byzantine. I don't hear a lot from their HR team. But hey, that's not for me to judge. I sent you a thing on Instagram, or I guess I sent the group a thing on Instagram where
didn't see
it basically, I was just kind of a segue from what I was talking about. They found this dude was like trying to catch his chickens because they kept going in this big ass hole in his basement, and he knocked down the wall and found a fucking 2,000-year-old city.
What?
Yeah.
I'm assuming this was in Europe?
In Turkey.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, in America.
No, it was tunnels underneath his house, and it was just like this
With
massive
catacombs and
atrium.
shit.
I'll show you. Yeah, it was catacomb. It was this massive atrium.
It's fucking creepy.
Yeah. And people want to say, like, aliens have never come to this planet. It's insane. But, yeah.
I mean,
We're going to leave it on that now. We're leaving it on that.
that. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Yeah, but y'all ain't ready for that.
Ain't ready to talk
alrighty.
about no aliens.
Yeah. I got to get this outro done in a minute. So, we actually mentioned Idiocracy, but Greg and Jeff gave the hi-hat. This past episode was about the prophecy of Idiocracy. So if you like the movie Idiocracy or like hearing my dad and my godfather talk, go watch that. Finding New Films will be back next week. This probably will come out Wednesday, August the 9th. If it's not,
So
fuck you,
guys,
I
make
don't
sure
care.
if you're watching now, you know that it's coming out on Wednesday.
Yeah, if you're listening now, it's coming out on Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, August the 9th to the rest of you. And yeah, watch Finding New Films this Friday. Watch F&F self-tapes from yesterday. This has been The Basement Tapes. I'm Hunter.
I'm Trevor.
And, yeah.
Get yourself a papadilla.
Yeah, go get a papadilla. Go crack a cold one. See you guys later.
Deuces.
Peace.